All right, I'm going to do a video about my 10 favorite YouTube channels right now. I did this a few years ago and I was looking back at it, and I think a lot of my choices have changed or disappeared because whatever reason, such as the nature of the YouTube mental grooming process. Actually, a few are still the same, and if you subscribe on YouTube, I don't know about the app, but on the desktop version, which is what I mainly use, they will kind of sort them based on how often you watch them and how many hours you put in. I think it's based on what they think will be the number of hours that you devote to it. So these are basically the channels that I get excited about when something new comes out, and I wanted to share with you because I think they're pretty great channels, and some of them may dovetail with your own interests. The theme of my channels of knowledge, learning, and travel, I think, are kind of the big themes or whatever. So let's take a look. I'm gonna these aren't in like any kind of countdown. It's just I'm kind of grouping them by kind of three groups, I guess, by kind of learning in general, and then by language specific in Thailand, because that's the next country I'm going to. So I've been watching different Thai related channels and I'm learning a lot of Thai, and then also kind of music related. So let's begin. I'll save till the very last, so you stick around, whatever. My number one channel that shows up on YouTube, according to their rankings of what they think I'm most likely to watch all the way through, and it is one of the ones that I was watching a few years ago, so I think it's still a great channel. So stick around for that. What is number one? That's my teaser. Okay, so we're gonna begin. I'll begin with, this is actually not one channel. This is actually a collection of channels that is it's called Kurzgesagt. Originally it was in German, and then I think they started translating it because it's animated, so it's really easy to just do a different voiceover in a different language, and they switched to they added like an English version, a Spanish version, and then I just looked recently and they have a bunch of them. They have Japanese, Arabic, Korean, French, Portuguese. I don't know what I'm forgetting. I'm probably forgetting one or two, but they have a lot now. And so if you're interested, or if you just want to watch it in English, you can do that too. But if you're interested in any kind of language study, you can watch the same video in multiple languages, which is great. And yeah, it's a really wonderful channel with videos about science and learning and just exploration and cutting edge stuff. I love it. It's a very great channel. So check that out. The next channel is similar, but just in Spanish. I think this one may have been on my previous list too, because I still love it. It's a great channel. Curiosamente, which is just very similar. A lot of topics about just things people are curious about. So a lot of science related stuff, linguistics, you name it. Wonderful channel if you're learning Spanish, or if you're not, just watch it with subtitles. And then, okay, I'm getting more specific now. Now, this next channel is one I recently started watching, but I've been aware of his books for a while. I think actually in my last year when I was talking about Germany, I was reading one of his books in German. He basically does he teaches languages through stories. That's his thing. He has a website. I haven't used his website, but the books are pretty decent. They're kind of good training wheels to get you started. But anyways, his name is Olly Richards, and he does a lot of videos about languages in general, sometimes getting very specific though, zoning in on whatever his interests are or whatever. So sometimes, he's not always 100% accurate, I find, with like his knowledge of linguistics and things like that. But I think he is pretty good with teaching the process of learning languages. So I will vouch for him in that sense, even though he doesn't always, I don't feel like he's as technical as he could be, but that's good sometimes, because sometimes the best people for actual, the really gritty of actual doing the process of like language learning, they're not necessarily the most scholastic people. So I think it's a good channel. Next channel is, because I was just in Japan and I'll be going back to Japan at some point. This guy does street interviews, just asking people about things in Japanese society, things that are happening, what's kind of trending in Japan. So I think it's called Takashii in Japan, and he speaks English, and he clearly has an English audience in mind, people that are learning Japanese or just interested in Japan. And yeah, it's always a fun channel, and just him on the streets of Tokyo or wherever. I think he's in Tokyo, and just talking about what's going on in the world of Japan. So check it out if you're interested in Japanese. Like I said, some of these are going to be pretty specific, but I think they're all great channels. Okay, I'm going to switch over to 3 channels which are very Thai specific, because like I said, I'm probably going to be in Southeast Asia through the winter because I don't like cold weather, so I don't plan to go to Japan anytime until next year. But I'll be in Thailand, probably back and forth in different points. So I've been watching 3 channels. One is pretty good. It's similar to the Takashii in Japan. It's this guy who just does street interviews. He's actually in Australia, but he goes to Thailand sometimes. And even though he's a native English speaker, he speaks pretty good Thai, as I understand it. And I didn't know that Australia has a fair amount of Thai people. I guess there's actually, I think I can't remember if he's in Sydney or Melbourne, but somewhere where he's at, there's a Thai town, like a Thai community of Thai speakers. So he doesn't seem to ever have trouble finding Thai speakers to interview in Australia. And sometimes he goes, like I said, to Thailand. So I enjoy his channel. It's interesting to get to hear Thai perspective on things, and also to hear about how he learned Thai. He claims to have learned the basics pretty quickly in 9 months. And I'm approaching 1 year. When did I start? I think I started last September. So I'm like 10 months, and I struggled with Thai a lot, and I've only recently made some big breakthroughs that I'll probably talk about in a future video. But anyways, if you're at all curious about Thailand, Thai culture, and so on, check out his channel. And then 2 other Thai related channels that I recently discovered. These are actually a couple that live in Bangkok, and they each have separate channels. I want to say he's a videographer by day. Like, he's not a full-time YouTuber. But I think he does maybe wedding photography, stuff like that. So his videos are really well shot. I'm impressed by the quality of the cinematography. He uses drones sometimes, and he'll talk a lot about Bangkok, but he also travels throughout Thailand and shows different aspects of the Thai world. And I want to say he's from back east in the US. So it's kind of a US perspective to see that. I think he's lived in Thailand for about 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So his channel is called The Endless Voyage. And then I think his girlfriend's channel is just called YING. And she is Thai. So she has a different perspective, as a Thai native Thai speaker, but her channel's in English for the most part. And not as many videos yet, but it's interesting to see where they're each going to take their channel. So I'm enjoying both of those. I find that with any country that you either want to visit or learn more about, just learning the language is very helpful to getting your head in that mind space, but also just exposing yourself to people that are already there or have been there or from there, because that'll just really prepare you from any kind of culture shock. I don't feel like I have any culture shock whenever I go to a new place, because I usually watch so many videos and listen to the language a lot, so that or watch movies, so that as soon as I get there, it's like I'm just stepping into a world I've already been living in online or whatever. So anyways, those are the 3 Thai channels that I recommend. And then the final 3 channels are kind of music related. 2 are because I've been doing a lot of music production. So I think this is maybe a very niche for most people, unless you're doing music production. But if you're interested in music at all, I would suggest you learn music production at some point, because it's just so fun. And there's a lot to learn about it. And if you don't know, with music production, I got started really with GarageBand, which is the default app that Apple provides on iPads and MacBooks for free. And then I've kind of upgraded in the last year to Logic, which is their higher end music program, which is not free, but pretty great. And I'm learning continuously. I have a music channel too, by the way, that I'll link down below, that you can see me floundering into music production. Anyways, so the 2 channels for music production, one is called MusicTechHelpGuy, which is primarily focused on Logic. So it's, like I said, pretty niche unless you're doing Logic. But if you are doing Logic, it's a great channel. I recommend his stuff a lot. He has a really wonderful playlist with walking you through all aspects of using Logic. And then the other channel, which is called Streaky, his channel is not specific to one DAW, which is a digital audio workstation like Logic or I forget what are some other ones, Ableton and, you know. So his is more just kind of like about higher end concepts of production. So like I said, very specific, but very good, very informative. And I've learned a lot just watching those channels. Okay, now final channel, which is apparently, according to YouTube, my #1 channel that I will most consistently watch every video for and watch all the way through probably, is, and I've mentioned him many times, Momus. His channel is just called Momasu. And he's a combination, though, of not just music. Yeah, he does a lot of music, and he just did an album that you can check out on his channel that he releases all the songs as they happen. Usually within a few week period, he'll do like a song every day or two and make a video for it. And you can kind of see his creative juices flowing as he's experimenting and trying to figure things out. But then he also does like kind of travel videos. He just went to Japan and Korea. He does videos just talking about whatever he's interested in culture and discussing. So I've mentioned him many times, but I highly recommend his channel as always. And yeah, those are my, I think that's 10 channels that I will most consistently, if they have a new video, I will most consistently watch and enjoy. And I think they're pretty great channels. If I didn't name your channel in this list, well, the competition was pretty fierce, and maybe next year, I don't know if I'll do it next year, but I'll try to, because I think there's a lot of great content, of course, on YouTube. And feel free to let me know if you find anything similar to these or anything that you just think I would enjoy. Feel free to leave a comment, and see you in the next video.